What's going on, guys? Welcome to Stock Watch Sunday. My name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos, where we talk about everything over-the-counter penny stocks. And on Sundays, it's particularly special because it's the stocks that I'm watching going into this coming week. So welcome. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up and subscription by the end of this video. And let's get to it. So I'm going to welcome some folks in here already. What's going on, Alan? Stone Cold, Jake, good to see you guys in here. So what's Stock Watch Sunday? What's Own the Chaos? Own the Chaos is a channel primarily focused on over-the-counter stocks. And so if you're curious about what over-the-counter stocks are, they're stocks that are not traditionally traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They're traded over-the-counter, hence the play on words. That is Own the Chaos. And it is a little bit chaotic down here, so it's extremely volatile. There's a lot of question marks. Sometimes it requires you to do a little bit of extra digging, but the payoff can be much greater if you put a little extra work in. And so I do this full time. I do this every day. It is what I do for a living, and I absolutely love the volatility. But if you don't know how to manage the volatility, it can lend you into a lot of trouble. So this is the largest over-the-counter penny stock channel. And so if you are looking to learn more, this is the right place. And speaking of right places, I also want to encourage you to check out our free platform. That is We Trade HQ. It's not just dedicated to penny stocks. If you're on this channel and you're like, Brad, I hate penny stocks, like that's not my thing. First of all, I certainly still appreciate your support if you give me that thumbs up. But second of all, We Trade HQ is not just dedicated to penny stocks. It's dedicated to anybody who wants to trade in the stock market or in the cryptocurrency space. There's free tools and resources. We have a community of over 4,000 members from around the globe learning and growing and celebrating each other's success, so that no matter what you're trading in the market, We Trade HQ is the place for you. So go check it out. It's a really awesome place. You know, again, it doesn't cost anything. It's absolutely free to join, and I think you'll like it. It's you know, all kinds, like I said, all kinds of tools and free resources. I'll be able to show you that platform coming up here in a few minutes as I'm letting some folks roll in here. So what's going on, Jesse, Amy, Brett, Hussein, Samir? Good to see you guys. Glad. Thanks for your patience. I actually fortunate to be here on time. We had a tornado warning here a couple minutes ago, but it looks like we're all free and clear. It's really eerie. There was absolutely no rain or wind or anything, and it got real dark, but you know, nothing happened. So fortunately, I'm safe. The house is fine, and I'm here with you guys. So thanks for the you know, well wishes. I kind of you know, warned you guys that I might have been a little bit late, but thanks for looking out for me. Appreciate it. So yeah, so stocks that I'm watching this week. There's 3 of them in particular. 2 that are going to be strong plays that I think could really pay off going into this week and maybe even beyond. The other one's not quite as strong because I'm not seeing any potential catalyst, but it's just going to be like a chart play and where I've been able to identify some pretty strong supports nevertheless. So still much of a longer term play. And that's usually what I do for Stock Watch Sundays. You know, throughout the week, I'll go live, you know, every day and basically go over maybe some short-term catalysts that might be worth maybe, I don't know, like a 1 or 2 day swing trade, or yeah, 2-day swing trade, something like that. But, you know, these are going to be ones that I probably would try to build my account around and have a longer term approach to these. So we'll do that. And also, if there's stocks that you want me to take a look at, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, I am sunburned, so I'll get to that in a second. So you know, if you have any tickers that you want me to take a look at that we can kind of like dissect and maybe potentially find value in, please share those in the comments below. And yeah, so just make sure that you give me some kind of substance instead of just throwing tickers at me, and you know, because I want this to run as efficiently as possible. So if I at least have some sort of potential catalyst to go off of, maybe a share structure, something along those lines, that way I at least have a direction where I'm headed, just for efficiency's sake, I certainly would appreciate that as well. So yeah, somebody gave me, somebody noticed that I got some sunburn. I went fishing yesterday. Was completely unprepared. It was, you know, raining when I got there, and the sun came out and burned the heck out of me. I'm actually not quite as red as I was yesterday. Yeah, I'm pretty red. You can see, look at that sweet tan line. So anyway, I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys. So let me go ahead and do that here real quick. And so let me introduce you to We Trade HQ. So this is a platform that I was talking about. It's absolutely free to sign up and join. You can search your favorite tickers, talk about them amongst your friends, do technical analysis with our integrated trading view charts, among all kinds of other really cool free tools for you to join, to use, such as the WeTrade Tracker, where you can track your trades and see how well you're doing, and even compete with your friends as well. And then there's the WeTrade Live, where if you go there, you can actually see me through the WeTrade HQ website. And then there's also the mentorship side, where if you're interested in stepping up your game and learning from experienced traders, you can check that out as well. I do have my morning mentorships from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're interested in checking that out, you can go to WeTrade HQ, and the links are down in the description as well, to join my mentorship, where we kind of identify value in stocks and execute those plays every single day. So first one's going to be BMMJ. It's my first stock to watch this week. Guys, all this is done. I'm actually going to pull up the daily chart here. Look at this daily chart. I talked about this some on Friday. If you weren't tuning in on Friday, this is going to be, I mean, it already is a monster, right? So you're looking at the chart just by itself. 5 red days, guys, in the last month. The last month of trading, 5 red days. And if you look at the red days, they really weren't all that red. It was basically flat. You know, those days were pretty much just flat days. It just so happened that maybe they were a couple percentage points down, but they really weren't all that red. So just an unbelievable run so far for BMMJ. And shout out to Jesse within our mentorship group. So I gave him a shout out, but I want to give him all the credit here. With BMMJ, he actually brought it to our group actually within the 50 to 70 cent range. Most of us within our group, including myself, got in around 70. I have an average of 78, so not quite as low as Jesse got, but I'm still quite happy. As you can see, it's at trading at $1.56, had highs of $1.73 on Friday, and man, really, you know, $2 seems to be on the horizon for this. Why is this moving so much? It's moving so much. It's a cannabis stock. They have dispensaries all over the place, and they have strong connections with Australis and Aurora Cannabis, which, if you're familiar with those, they're got some deep pockets. So with BMMJ, I did want to point out they came out with a PR on Friday as well, basically disclosing that nothing's changed within their company. But I think what's happening is that people are finally discovering that BMMJ has all of these affiliations. So here's Australis Capital. And just giving you a perspective of what's going on. So Australis has a partnership, or they are partnered with Aurora Cannabis, and the CEO of Australis is also on the board of directors. Scott Dowdy is on the board of directors of BMMJ. So and you can do all of this stuff. I'm just pulling this up for you guys to observe here, but this is all very interesting. So BMMJ, pretty good ties with Aurora Cannabis and Australis, a Canada-based company, and they're breaking into the U.S. markets with BMMJ. They have dispensaries in California, Arkansas, pretty much everywhere out west, and they're starting to grow even more. So just to kind of give you a few more DDs, or due diligence here. So they announced that this is one where Australis was basically funding them to be able to, support them in their ventures into the U.S. This other piece of due diligence that I pulled up for you guys to take a look at. This is an article. This is again about Scott. He's on their board of directors, like I was saying. So Australis basically gave them $4 million, or loaned them $4 million to get this product going. For the dispensary chain in California, and this was Showgrow. So Showgrow is a dispensary chain in California. So this is like lots of really good due diligence through BMMJ, and this is why I think people are finally starting to connect the dots. And it's obviously been done over a month's time, as you can see here. But I mean, those are where the dots are connected. Okay, so you have BMMJ. BMMJ is Body and Mind. That's the name of the company. Body and Mind has strong partnerships with Australis Australis has strong partnerships with Aurora. So like that is what, so here you go. Aurora Cannabis spinoff. Australis Capital begins to deploy substantial capital in the United States. And that's what this article is here. And they're talking about BMMJ being that focus. So that is what's kind of really getting this going. And I think what's going on here is that people are really starting to get, start to notice this. And like I said, connecting the dots with BMMJ. So what's the plan here? What's the deal? Is BMMJ going to go nuts? I don't know. I can't tell you if BMMJ is going to go crazy. But this is a Stock Watch Sunday, so this clearly is one that you should be watching. I never like try to speculate hard numbers on what it's actually going to do, going into next week. But I think there's going to be some strong moves with this one, not just next week, but beyond that. More catalysts start to come out with BMMJ. More people start to realize that the dots are being connected here, that they have ties and connections with Aurora. And Aurora is huge. For those of you who are pretty heavy into, MJ stocks and that sort of thing, like BMMJ could be very undervalued here, even at $1.50. So even though it's going crazy over the last month, I'm not sure. It would be tough for me to say that BMMJ is going to have any kind of significant drops. I mean, to even think that it's going to go below $1 at this point, I think maybe a little bit inconceivable, but we'll see. This is the OTC. We've seen stranger things. But I'm very optimistic on BMMJ, obviously up over 100% now, and just kind of sitting pretty. So will it pull back though? Will there be areas of consolidation? And I think we saw that on Friday. So if we go back to the 30-minute chart, we saw that a little bit on Friday where, had this little bit of a red candle end of day on Friday, had a little bit of a, sell-off. And I think part of that might have been because of the PR that came out, but I think the other part is just because it's been running so strong. And you can see this, that even though it's had, pretty much nothing but green over the last month, there's been areas of consolidation on the 30-minute chart. So if you look at the 30-minute chart here, you can see there's a little bit of consolidation here on this, nice little stair stepper at the beginning of where the middle and end of March, and just a little bit more consolidation and just a really steady climb up until like the last couple of days. I think it's really when people started to get, people started to raise attention on this thing, and it's the amount of dollar volume that's been coming in has been more and more every day. So, Friday, I think it was well over $1 million in dollar volume. So crazy stuff going on with BMMJ. And this is why I think that this will be a good one to watch for going into next week and probably beyond, if you ask me. So I'm going to check in with you guys, see how you all are doing. How long do you think BMMJ will run this week? I think I pretty much already answered that one for you. So I'm 210 average. I hope not. Well, BMMJ, I don't know why you'd be in 210. Maybe you're talking about something else. AK was not very nice for this run, was it? So the AK, it wasn't that big of a deal. Obviously, it still ended green. It didn't really seem to apply to it very much, Josh. By the way, good to see you again. Everyone does seem to be holding for the most part. There is some dilution, which is kind of why this has struggled a little bit considering the massive dollar volume that's come in. But, it seems to be overcomable up to this point. Yeah, PMMJ. Yeah, so Joker Inc.'s another one who got in with us. He's in my morning mentorship group as well. That chart is a thing of beauty. I mean, you look at this daily chart. When was the last time? Each one of these candles represents a day, guys. Each one of these candles represents a day. I can't remember the last time I saw a chart like that. That's what blows my mind. So, yeah, crazy. Oh, wow, Joker. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Oh, ACB. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I mean, this thing is just unbelievable. Unbelievable this way this thing's been moving. So, will it consolidate? Will it pull back? My thoughts are that it potentially will. I mean, you look at the way that this has just been riding the upper band, and look how hot this is on the RSI. For a healthy run, I would say that it probably would have some sort of area of consolidation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to have some massive or major sell-off. I think it's a little premature to talk about that, but if we're looking at consolidation and a healthy run, my thoughts are I would like to see some sort of consolidation at some point. And we saw a little bit, like I said, on the end of Friday or whatever, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. So the other thing to point out, too, is like when all the other MJ stocks were actually kind of red over this past week even, BMMJ was still just going off like crazy. So just incredible strength on this one. So definitely one that is creating a lot of excitement. And, yeah, I mean, we'll just have to watch and wait and see where this goes going into this week. So let's see here. Yeah, so that's a good point too. Just employing those selling strategies that we employ over in our morning mentorship. Good to see that joker as well. So the next one's going to be QPRC. QPRC is going to be a stock that I'm watching just because of this. So this is a patent infringement case against Apple. QPRC, Quest. They are known for basically searching out patent infringement cases. That is their business. That is what they do. So just to give you a little bit of a backstory with QPRC, they have done settlements with Texas Instruments, Aces Tech, TiVo, all kinds of other bigger companies, and they've been settling them at a very fast pace. So they've been going through these settlements very quickly, and they've also have a settlement, or not a settlement, but they have a case on a patent infringement against Amazon. And now the latest one that came out on Friday, which I think, was late Friday. We announced this within our group as well, and a lot of us were able to get in earlier. I mean, I've been in since 008. A lot of, when the first run happened, well, not the first run, but the most recent run, I should say, back here, when they announced that they had settled with, well, they didn't announce it. We found it within the court documents that they had settled with TiVo, it's a streaming service, and Aces Tech, which is a tech company. They build computers. Chances are you probably have something from Aces Tech if you have any kind of piece of technology. So great stuff here, and then you can see how it's kind of settled off. And then towards the end of last week and then Friday started to move up a little bit. This is just a daily chart right here. Let me go back to the 30-minute, and as you can see, this is when it was kind of discovered here towards the end of the day on Friday that court case came out on a patent infringement against Apple. And so lots of things coming out after hours with QPRC as well. So QPRC, basically this is the document, saying that they're suing Apple. So a major case. So this thing could really get going. This has had previous highs of nearly 3 cents. I would imagine this is going to go beyond that, given the gravity of this. But here's the other thing, too, and I'll get to my point on court cases in just a second. They have, this is the patent that is out that basically they are saying Apple is infringing upon. Have that pulled up for you. So this is the payment system that Apple had on their iPhones, their older iPhones. I think it was like iPhone 6, iPhone 7, that they had their payment systems. Basically QPRC is saying that Apple infringed upon this patent, that it wasn't theirs to be using. And so that is what's going on here with Apple. Reuters came out with a article on this after hours. You can see April 12th at 7:31 p.m. Eastern. A New York-based patent and monetization company, which is QPRC, hit Apple Inc. with an infringement case related to iPhone's payment technology. So word's getting out. Word's getting out that this is happening. So here's my thoughts and my sentiments on QPRC. We see these court cases go nuts all of the time. So depending on what your risk tolerances are, depending on what your time horizons are, is going to be the big thing for QPRC. If you're looking to wait around for the Amazon, for Apple to actually settle, you may be in for a long ride because they are so big, right? But having said that, they have settled with other very large companies, just not anything in the $1 trillion range like Amazon and Apple. We'll see where this goes, but we saw this with ABOI most recently that went from sub-penny to 20 cents on a case against Apple just on the mere announcement of that case. Went ballistic. So What's going to go on QPRC? Is that going to have the same reaction? I don't know if it's going to go at 20 cents, but it could have the same reaction given that this was discovered late in the day on Friday, and I would anticipate that there could be some sort of gap up going into tomorrow. Definitely one to keep an eye on, but it's one of those ones where, again, you may, if your time horizons are short and you just want to, and you're like, maybe I could just play the pop here and then, you know, use some cash, use that cash for somewhere else. Maybe you want to keep some in there. You know, like I said, we always employ that strategy of protecting your initial investment. So if you happen to double your investment on this one, you always want to sell half of that so that you can use that investment amount for something else. And then after that, you have 100% free shares. And then you can do whatever you want with them at that point. You can let them sit. You can, you know, sell them at your leisure. You know, I'm not in the business of telling people when to buy and when to sell. That's the buying and selling strategies that I employ, how I find success in doing this kind of stuff. So, you know, QPRC, what's in store for it? I think there's going to be a significant pop going into next week. Is it going to be sustained? I think that, you know, remains to be seen. Oftentimes with these court cases, you'll see that significant pop, and then there's going to be some sort of pullback because it's now we sit and wait, right? So if you want to, you can build a position on this one. If you feel as if QPRC will in fact settle these cases outright, you know, I'm not here to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm just telling you based off of historical events with other companies, with court cases such as this, that's typically the trend that happens. You see a nice quick pop, then there'll be some sort of settlement, settling down, consolidation somewhere, and we'll see where that bottoms out at. But that's going to be pretty exciting stuff for QPRC going into next week for anybody who got into that. So just checking in. Let's see here. On it. Okay. Just wanted to check, see any thoughts on CMGO. So CMGO, again, we talked about CMGO going last week. You know, what was the sentiment that I talked about with CMGO really over the last month? If the settlement came out that people weren't happy with, it was going to sell off, and then it did. And if the settlement was what people were expecting, it probably would have gone up beyond that 2.5, 3 cent range that it was kind of hanging around. But then it came out that they were selling with $2.75 million. Huge letdown, huge sell-off, very much expected because of the outcome of that settlement. Real head scratcher as to why you would fight 4.5 years for only $2.5 million when you were suing them for $220 million. But I think, you know, maybe we'll see what's going on with CMGO. If you see other value there, we're going to have to wait to see what goes on with all those other filings, getting them current. They did have an attorney letter that came out that was going to be getting them current. So we'll see. So now the play with CMGO is to see if they actually have value that they're going to be bringing to the company. Are they going to get their business going again now that this monkey is off their back? We'll see. I don't have much to go off of with CMGO any longer because the play was that settlement. And given that the settlement was terrible, it's going to be a long time, I think, before CMGO decides to, or before CMGO gets any kind of move on with their business. So let's see here. Oh yeah, shirts. So if you guys are interested in one of these shirts, you're interested in any of the other shirts, the links are in the description below. Have a lot of cool ones, so go check those out. Get any sun lately? Everybody's picking on my sunburn. Listen, I know I got it. You guys are very observant, so thanks for that. All right, so the third one is going to be VYST. So VYST, 10K is expected tomorrow or at the very least sometime this week. And this is another one, like I was telling you, like I really like the chart here. So our folks, and myself included, got in around the 4.5 cent range when this really started to bottom out here and have been in ever since. And it's only started to strengthen most recently and really had nice support levels around 0.068 cents per share. And now I think that it's really looking good at 7.7. There was some insane buying last week in this 7.5, high 7 range. Really huge buys, and I don't know why, but the chart is just looking really good for this support level around the 7.7 range. VYST has been a long-term play. If you're interested on any of the due diligence that I've already gone over, I encourage you to check back on any of the other Stock Watch Sundays or even some of the live streams that I've done. I've gone into a lot of detail at length with VYST, but there is a 10K that is expected this week. If there's some good information or good news in that 10K, we could see a nice little run up on VYST going into the future. They had highs most recently of around 9 cents. I'm really looking forward to it breaking 10. I think it'll get there if we get some decent news here coming up soon. And I think that's probably why there was some pretty significant buying last week. I don't know what the reasoning was other than, they were expecting that 10K to come through. So actually looks like a pretty decent sideways channel, if I do say so. I just kind of noticed that here. But because all I was looking at was this nice little support at 7.5 cents or 7.7. So you can see here at 7.7 here was a previous resistance. As we know, previous resistances become new supports. And so it really kind of bounced off of 7.7 quite a bit. And has really kind of settled down in this channel between 7.78 and let's see here, 7.4, 7.5. So like 7.78, 7.5 is really kind of like that channel that it's been hanging around in. So some nice consolidation. Looks like Bollinger Bands are starting to squeeze up a little bit. Looking decent on RSI as well. I like VYST as a longer term play. We'll see what that 10K does for us going into next week. Pretty excited about that one. Looking at share structure again. If you guys want to take a look at that. Oh, that's great. Thanks. Oh, here we go. And security details is where you want to go when you're looking up share structure for any over-the-counter stock. OS is at 312 million. So good stuff. Good stuff with VYST. Again, like I said, looking at this one long term, I'm very happy with it. It just keeps going up and up and up. I'm already up over 100% on this one with entries in at 4.5 cents. And a lot of our other folks within the WeTrade HQ community are as well. So good things going on with all three of those stocks. I anticipate a nice little move out of all of them going into next week. And now on to your questions. So let's see what some folks are talking about. Any questions here that I can address? Let's see here. The fishing was great, Andrew. Thanks for checking in. As you can see, that's where the sun came from. What am I going to fish with? Willis needs to hit me up. Willis is another mentor within our WeTrade HQ community, and he always putting up fishing videos on his Instagram as well. So he's got to hit me up, man. Andy, ANDI. I wasn't in touch with a 10-foot pole. Just lots of bad juju with ANDI. If they are still running on that news with making their own cell phones and stuff like that, I would not believe that at all. It's been BS. It's been BS for the last 3 years, and so I just really kind of wouldn't mess with it. News on GXXM. Maybe. GXXM has had some ups and downs, and we'll just kind of see where that goes. And with GXXM, I can actually pull that up. So looking at the chart here on GXXM. So back on WeTradeHQ.com, which, by the way, how do you guys like the new light theme? Everybody, Jake has now allowed us to look at WeTrade HQ in a brighter light, in case you guys want to look at it this way. Or you can always go back and save energy to go dark, just like this. Pretty awesome. Waiting for it to pull up here. There we go. Internet's being weird. It must be from the storms. So GXXM, if I'm going to the 30-minute chart, boy, it's such a difference when I go back to dark themes. So pulling this up, lots of us made entries, Alan included, around 0025. So Alan is in my mentorship group. Been there quite a long time. One of my earliest supporters. That guy is a huge cheerleader for me and the WeTrade HQ community. Love that guy, but he got in at 0025. After looking at this huge dip below the Bollinger Bands, RSI looked pretty good as far as a good buy position here for GXXM, and he should be pretty happy here at 0037. Has started to teeter around getting to that 004 range. If there's news that comes out, could make a decent move here, but still question marks around GXXM. I liked the low price here as far as the pullback was, and making an entry at 0025. We'll see where this goes as it closed at 0037 on Friday. So we'll see. It could be a good mover. Definitely one to keep on the watch list. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. See, Alan's real happy. Alan's been killing it lately. Some really good plays. PDS. Andrew's PDS. All right. So PDS. Let's see here. I want to turn on the lights. Yeah, let's turn on the lights. PDS, so it's trading at 276. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Ooh, I had a little gap up. Why did I have a gap up? So if I go to OTC markets, this is what I do to do all my due diligence. Oh, is this a NASDAQ? So here to do all my due diligence. Let's see what the news was on this. Did they have recent news that caused that gap up? April 4th, they had some news. So going to disclosures. Nothing recent in filings either. So what was the gap up for it? You got anything for me, Andrew? As far as I don't know, I'm guessing you know what the story is here. The chart looks interesting. Obviously, some really decent moves. A huge ascending channel here on PDS, and then it had some pretty decent consolidation, nice little dip, and then it gapped up. Looks like it gapped up. Yeah, gapped up at the open on Friday and kind of just hung out in this little channel 276 area. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I mean, the chart looks good. I like it. If I was going to make an entry on this, man, with that gap up, I would like to see it get filled here. So I would probably look to try to make a low bid on this at 270. I kind of like that support level there. I also like, if it actually pulls back to this level, I like it around 269. And then below that, maybe 264. It's interesting, though, this gap up and this consolidation on Friday right around 276, 275. If you can see here, if I zoomed in here, and we can go on the 15-minute. Maybe let's just do 5-minute. So you see here's the gap up here. And then it created a little bit of a channel right here. So if it stays within this channel, you could trade that all day long. Really, let's change this because it's in dark mode. So I like this channel here, and we'll see if that kind of sustains that. You can look back a little bit further on that ascending channel there, that it kind of settled out around 275, 276, but we'll see. Need some more volume to get it going, some sort of catalyst, but the chart looks good. I like it. Not bad. PDS, everybody's watching PDS this week. All right, let's see what else we got. NYSE company. Yeah, okay. Responding to Scooter's call out on it, moves with oil prices pretty consistently. Okay, so, okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me. Appreciate it. Will INKW bounce? All right, good question. I figured that this was going to be coming out, so this question will be coming up. So INKW, without question, has been quite frustrating, to say the least. No idea where this dilution came from, but last week they diluted, if I added it up, somewhere around 7 or 8 million shares, and I really had no idea that that was coming. Looking at the most recent filings, there was nothing in the filings that really said, hey, guess what? We have shares to convert, and that's going to be happening soon. Nothing really told me that based off of their filings. So that was quite frustrating. They came out with some BS PR, I think it was Wednesday, and then just massive dumping after that. Like over $200,000 in dollar volume Wednesday, and then some crazy, a little bit of crazy, either Wednesday or Thursday, I want to say. And then, like, I don't know. Having said that, it has held at 01. We identified that bottom support at 01 previously, back at the end of March, and had a little bit of run up from that bounce. Will it continue to bounce from that 01 level? Remains to be seen. If they want to keep diluting this thing, then I would say no. So here's my thoughts on INKW. So I'm very still bullish on INKW. I like it a lot. I still like the fact that they have this bottling facility. I'm still waiting to see who that distributor is. So, you know, but I'm still liquid everywhere else. So my thoughts on this is that if you're worried about INKW, you probably have too much money in it, for one. For me, personally, because I have my account set up in a way where I like to keep myself liquid so I can make other plays, and then I have all these other longer plays that I add to and build upon because I see long-term value in them. You know, that's how I employ my strategy. So INKW is something that I see a lot of long-term value in. I've been in it for a while now, so I'm going to probably consider adding around this area if it holds that 01 support. If I see any kind of dumping, if I see any kind of dilutive market maker on INKW like I saw last week, I'm going to hold off on adding anything to it because that's telling me that there could be potential that it might dip below that 01 support level if there is indeed any more shares that convert going into next week. Super disappointing, super frustrating, but I do still see value in this one because of the acquisitions. They wouldn't have gone through all of this trouble, right, if there wasn't value to be had here. If they didn't already have a plan to employ when it comes to their bottling facility, their 60,000 square foot bottling facility, and you know who they're distributing to. That's kind of like the big key for me. I want to know. That's the major catalyst for me. That's something that I'm excited for and looking forward to. So you can bet that I'll be adding to dips. I'm just waiting to see this one because I know that they were diluting last week. And even though the chart looks good, I still am a little apprehensive because of those shares that were converting last week on what the heck is going on with INKW. So if you're watching this, INKW, what gives? As far, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it at this point. So I know there's a lot of OTC companies out here that actually do watch this channel. So if you are one of them, INKW, please let me know what the heck's going on. Or anybody, well, like, give us some communication other than some fluff PR and then, you know, dump on everybody. Like, that was ridiculous. So 67 here and 20 likes. Yeah, what the heck, guys? Give me a thumbs up. If there's 67 of you in here, I would at least like 67 likes, you know, in this video. That would be awesome. What do you think of WTR? So let's take a look at WTR. Was it WTR? Let me double check. WTER. Yeah. Okay. So WTER. What's going on there? 258 alkaline water. Geez, a little bit of a sell-off here, huh? All right, what's going on a 30-minute chart? Anything that I like? So I had a couple of gap ups. What's going on here? Is this another one that's not an OTC? If we could keep it to OTCs, that'd be great. I know that OTC has been a little slow, so I'm kind of letting it slide with these NASDAQ ones. But this is only chaos, and I do deal with primarily over-the-counter stocks. But for you, man, I will look at it. So share structure looks good. I like it. Was there news that's been coming out? Is that why this has been gapping up? I don't see any news. Oh, here we go. Adient leads to customer gain in its future. Yeah, so fintech. Oh, wow. Fintech. And Amir Fuge among the losers. Alkaline water stock looks rather acidic. These really aren't good things that I'm looking at here. So, but if we look at the chart, can you make a play on it? Can you day trade it? This would probably be something I would day trade if I was looking at this from a day trading perspective. Pulling up Bollinger Bands, RSI. These are the two key indicators that I use personally. If Don Fran is watching, I don't want any comments from the peanut gallery. He gives me a hard time on indicators all the time, but that's cool. That's just his deal. So if we're looking at, let's see here. I want to know where common support is, where a good support level is. So if I'm looking at support, gosh, it's kind of hard to determine that, but I would say probably around 250. These gap ups got me a little nervous though. I'm not, once something starts gapping up, it gets a little bit too volatile. But it is it's worth noting that you can see a little bit of a pullback after this gap up, and it looked like this gap actually filled. So if you're looking at a gap fill here, this was it. So the gap filled at 250 after it gapped up here all the way up to 279. So I would say that this gap has been filled, and it may see a nice little run up. It looked like it started to do that towards the end of the day on Friday. So 250 looked like it would have been a good solid support level after that gap had gotten filled, and we'll see where this goes. But the chart looks halfway decent. I still personally wouldn't touch it just because I think it's a bit too volatile given that it's gapped up 2 days in a row like that. Something that probably would make me a little bit nervous to get into, even though I'm looking at this and I say, okay, this looks like a decent support level, 250. Decent probably just doesn't cut it for me, given that it's gapped up considerably over the last couple trading days. So what else we got? Take a couple more. No problem. Not a problem at all. I love that you don't have any. That's because it's a live stream, Robert. There's no music because it's a live stream, man. SBS was green with everything else. It was red when I was watching it. Yeah, SBS, I think they came out with news, but I wasn't crazy about that news. Kind of thought it was BS. It's usually what they do. Let's see. What else we got? YAP. Yeah, LFAP. Yeah. LFAP, I'm still very strong on. NIHL, I think it's already started to run. NHIL, look, congrats to those folks who saw value in this one. Oops. Did I type it in wrong? I think I did. Hold on. NIHL. Yeah, didn't know what I did? Probably didn't. Nope. So this is going to be one of those rare ones that doesn't pull up on WeTrade HQ. Sometimes there's every once in a while there's little outliers that won't come up on WeTrade HQ, but NIHL I know was a little bit of a runner on Friday. Might be a little bit too hot to get in. YRV, yeah, that's another NASDAQ one. DFCO. DFCO. So I had a little bit of a pullback on the daily. What's the 30-minute chart look like? 30-minute chart looks kind of gross. So to be honest with you, this is one that I'm probably not going to like, only because we're looking at, lack of liquidity. What I mean by that is there's not a whole lot of dollar volume that's coming in on this one. So you're risking your chances of getting stuck in this. You can see it looks as though the spread probably was quite wide. And so if you're buying high on this thing, it probably wouldn't take much to whack out of it. And then before you know it, you got a 50% haircut with a couple of trades. So the issue here is going to be volume, liquidity. I'm not going to look at anything else with DFCO. And the reason being is because there's just no dollar volume coming in here whatsoever. Not a big fan of this. This would be one that you would most certainly get yourself stuck in. And would have a very tough time getting yourself out of, especially if you had a larger position in something like DFCO. So looking at the chart right off the bat, I can tell you about that. What else we got? I'm thinking about docking. Oh gosh, the fishing comments are hilarious. The sunburn comments are even more hilarious. So, do I think MSPC will ever go? Hell no. Hell to the no. That's all I gotta say about that. It was great when it ran. I made $20,000 on MSPC, but I sold it and never looked back. BOPO did have a nice move last week, but I think there's a bit too much of a pump on this one at this point, Andrew. So we can take a look. 14, yeah, look at this insane volume that came in. So This is one. So BOPO, I'm not going to knock it at this point. There's nothing to bash on this one. It's made some decent moves, and rightfully so. Having said that, for me personally, to want to get into something like this, I would have wanted to get in, at this area, 0006 area. Now that it's up 14 cents, right? Am I looking at this? No, I'm sorry, 003. I'm seeing too many zeros. So 003 area, anything sub penny would have been nice to get in. But at this point, like this is what I'm looking at, and I'm saying that this is pretty front loaded. You look at something like this, insane buying, okay, and then there's not much left in the float at that point, so it really doesn't take that much buying power to get it up here. But if I'm sitting up here at 14 cents or even 18 cents at the high, and I look at these people that bought down here sub penny, when are these people ready to sell out, right? So I'm not buying all the way up here just so these people down here can sell on me. And that's just my own personal opinion. Maybe it goes nuts. Maybe it goes bonkers and continues to go up. But that's just, when I'm looking at a chart like this, I'm saying, okay, I see some significant volume that came in back in February. And I'm looking at this and I say, so there's some huge buying going on. Is this going to run? Maybe it'll run. Maybe it won't. But I know that there's people sitting in here sub penny that's ready to sell. You look at all these buys and this buying volume and hardly any selling since then. So all these people that bought over here, they're holding. They haven't sold. Not yet, but they will when people start buying up here. So that's that's my thought on BOPO. And when I look at charts like this, I'm looking how much loading happened previously on this one and how much selling actually took place. Here, I see a lot of loading going on, not a lot of selling. So that tells me there's a lot of people holding low, waiting for some sort of spot to sell at that, maybe makes sense to them. If you bought in sub penny, you're up 1,400%. When's the bottom going to drop out of that? And so that's kind of where my thoughts are on BOPO. I'm not saying that it's a terrible stock. I'm just saying if you got in low, congratulations to you. Getting in now, not sure something that I would do. Just my opinion. So let's see here. Yeah, wait for the pullback. Yeah, so I'm waiting for people to sell on this one before I would consider getting a position. Right now, it's just way too hot. Yeah, we trade HQ charting a lot better than Thinkorswim. Yeah, because TradingView charts are so much easier to use. They're so much easier to read. Thinkorswim is just too cumbersome. Any opinion on PRED? PRED has been going crazy. It's too hot right now. Would have been nice to get in a little bit earlier, but you can't win them all. ANDI up 60% Thursday. Held Friday, just saying all the bad could be behind him. We'll see. I'm not convinced on ANDI just yet. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go there. So great turnout tonight, guys. Super job on all the chatter. You guys always bring your A games, and the support is just awesome. Nobody's in here being a big old dick, which is awesome. I hate, you see some of these other live streams and people are just being a bunch of idiots. So thanks for that. Appreciate that. And give this a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this. If you guys like my analysis on going over a lot of these charts and a lot of these other stocks. And if you are interested in maybe some of those plays that I put out for Stockwatch Sunday, give it a thumbs up as well. If you're interested in just the OTC, you want to get to know this world a little bit better, and you're like, holy crap, did that really go 1,000%? Like BMMJ we're talking about that went from, less than a quarter up to $1.73 highs. Like, if you want to know how to get in on that game, subscribe to this channel. I go live every day during the midday market recaps. I also go live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, just like you're seeing me here. And I also, Saturday, I've been developing a new entrepreneur, podcast with my partner Christian. Really good responses that I've gotten from you guys. The views haven't been there quite like we wanted to, but the comments that we're getting, the likes and all that, leads me to believe that this is something that you guys want to see. So we're going to continue that, and I'm really happy to get that thing going. So if you guys are interested in starting a business, want some advice on, if you are in a business and how to get that thing going, tune into those on Saturdays, and we're going to sprinkle some more in throughout the week as well. I always told myself I wasn't going to put 2 videos out a day, and I'm starting to work my way into that. So, you know, just be on the lookout for those if you guys see value or interested in anything related to small businesses or being an entrepreneur. I guarantee you will love the information that we're putting out for that. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. If you're interested in the morning mentorships, the links are down in the description below. And that is it for me. So as always, I will see you all before the bell. And B. Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.